Thank you very much. You know, we're having the incredible opportunity of the export is great, especially rural areas. But in Vermont, last 10 years, we've gone from 4 billion in exports to 2 billion. So I want to talk a little bit about how to address that. Some of that is a strong dollar, I know, but others are just practical implementation questions. But before I get to that, the XM Bank has done something terrific for Vermont, a $169 million loan to Beta Technologies, which is producing or beginning to manufacture electric planes. And that is an extraordinary benefit to get us to net zero and also huge jobs that are being created. So the initiatives, Mr. Westcott, like Make More in America, really have an impact for us in rural businesses and about 400 jobs in the state of Vermont at Beta. What should Congress do to continue to promote initiatives that help those small rural businesses compete at a global scale?
Thank you, Senator. Appreciate that. I think continuing to invest in opportunities to support communities like that is crucial. Whenever Congress has an opportunity to expand the number of opportunities available to small businesses, I think they should certainly be looking to take that. Regardless of kind of what sector you're looking in or what piece of legislation you have in front of you, I think there's generally ways to expand opportunities for small business and specifically to increase jobs in the export space.
Well, you know, there's a number of programs that are just tough on a practical level if you're a small business to figure out how to get access to it, even with the best of efforts and outreach. I mean, some of those programs include at the International Trade Commission, SBA's State Trade Expansion Program, the Small Business Development Centers, and opportunities through XM that we talked about. But there's real challenges. You're a small business in Randolph, Vermont. You're a small business in Bennington. What I'm wondering about, is there anything that Congress can do or anything probably on a more practical level that the administration can do to increase awareness of what those current programs are and make them in a practical, real-world way accessible to some of these small businesses that would significantly benefit if it could be an easy process to get access to that help?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Senator. So there are a dizzying array, as I mentioned in my testimony, of federal programs available to small business owners across the country. And
I'm not talking about, that's the emphasis on dizzying.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
So
many of them are housed at agencies that small business owners would least expect. So USDA has, I believe it's over 50 financial assistance programs for rural applications, and a number of those, 19 that I have in front of me here, are for rural businesses specifically. And I think a lot of small business owners wouldn't go to USDA as kind of their first resource for this. So as I mentioned in my testimony, if the Office of Rural Affairs at SBA could be empowered to become a central access point for information, if they could really take on, so I know that the Rural Partners Network is out there. That's something that the administration has done.
To implement what you just said, that sounded like a very practical suggestion. What do we need to do?
We need to make sure that office is empowered. So in S 4764, that bill specifically calls for the creation of an assistant administrator for that specific office, which has been dormant for a while. I think revitalizing that office and just giving it the mandate to pull the
let's go. How do you empower them? That's like making decisions, right? So they can act. What you just said is giving them another administrator, which may be a good idea, but that is not about empowering it. What do you mean by empower?
I think I mean empower in terms of just to give them the base ability, because right now the office has been dormant. So it was originally authorized in, I think, 1990 and has been largely dormant since. And so by empower, I truly just mean give this extant office that does not have a current mandate the ability to go and pull that together. Give them maybe a congressional mandate to pull that information together and act as an operations center.
Okay, and how would you see that rolling out?
I think I want to leave the specific implementation to the true professionals here. I think I have a limited ability to see exactly how they would operationalize that inside SBA. But I think the rollout of that would be something along the lines of SBA could work with SBDCs and the other community partners they have to advertise the resources that are available. They could mention to folks as they come in that this is a new program that they could take advantage of, where they could come and talk to specific points of contact at the Office of Rural Affairs who would have access to to all of the information they need to start a business. I think starting a central web portfolio is great because so many rural small businesses can access government resources better through online portals than they can through
And it's
physical.
got to be made really simple,
Yeah.
right? And what about just giving information about what markets may be available to some of our rural enterprises?
Oh, well, and that's fantastic. So there is a little bit of work already going on in that space. So RAISE, the Rural America's Intelligence Service for Exports Research, that's a part of what the Rural Export Centers and ITA is providing. And I think more people would take advantage of that, more small exporters specifically, if we could just point them in that direction. So I think there are a lot of existing resources like that provide a lot of the services that I think we would want folks to have access to. It's more about just making sure they know where they live.
Okay. Thank you. I yield back. Thank you, Madam Chair.